Hey there, welcome to my studio in New York City. I am Daniel Norton and this is Marisa. And this is...
Mentoring Marisa.
Yeah, so today we're gonna make a portrait of Lucas.
Yes.
Again, Lucas is a great subject.
Yes.
He didn't hate us after the last one, so it's always
surprisingly.
Right, but since Marisa now has Capture One and we've been working with it, I decided to take a few minutes before he gets here to set up Capture One for tethering, because we didn't really do that last time. So first step would be to open Capture One. Okay, so the first thing we want to do when we have a new, because we're gonna do a new subject. Right now we're gonna work in sessions. We talked about catalogs a little bit. Maybe someday we'll deal with that. But for now, just think about sessions, because that's how most of the people that do the work that I do and that you plan on doing work. So if you guys use catalogs, then maybe pitch as to why you think that's the way to go, but if not, stick with sessions. We're gonna go new session, file new session. And generally I wanna name it with the date. So today is the, so I do 22 for the year. You do year first, that way, if you do the year first, then you'll always sort them by year, otherwise you get weird stuff. So 22, 02, 17. Now you guys know what date it is that we're shooting this, so when it comes out like 3 months from now, you're gonna be like, why does it take so long? Well, Daniel has to edit. All right, so, and then, you know, what it is. So Lucas, yeah.
Lucas.
Yeah, and you might, if we know what we're gonna do, which we do actually today, we're gonna use a mirror. You could even call it something like a Lucas mirror shot or something like that. I usually just put the person's name because I never remember what we did anyways. Okay, and then once we do that, we're gonna go down to hit okay. You don't wanna hit open a new window because if you do, then it'll keep all your other stuff open. So generally speaking, we want a fresh thing, so we're good. Okay, now we're gonna actually, because we haven't done it yet, we're gonna build the little Marisa tethering tab. Last time I set it up, it looks like a little sunrise. You're there now. What you're gonna do is go up to that, you're gonna right click, or whatever, left click, or whatever click is, you're gonna add a tool. And we wanna add the camera. Oh no, actually the camera's already there. We wanna add, so what we want to add, we're going to look down here and figure out what we want for our camera. Not much. Okay, we're going to want to add focus. So the focus, what the focus does is it allows you to punch in, basically. And we want to add just basic corrections so you can just do quick tweaks, but not like all the corrections. So here I would add another one. We're going to add exposure. Boom. So that's your exposure, contrast, brightness, the ones I said that you wouldn't use when you're actually doing your post. But when you're working quickly, they're good for that. And then we're gonna add the color. So you'll see as we start to work, but what this is gonna give us is the basic camera settings, which we're gonna get when we turn the camera on and get it tethered in. Then we're gonna have the focus, which is, I think I really showed you last time, but it's like a zoom in. So when you're doing a portrait, I like to leave that open, punched in on their face so we can see it's always in focus. And then any quick contrast, exposure, or color, you can do there to quickly show somebody. Cool. If you did a lot of styles and stuff, you would add that there as well, but we don't have styles, so we're not gonna worry about that. So undo the tab there with the camera, like drop it down to the little corner things so we see more of it. No camera attached. Look, so we don't see a camera yet, so let's turn the camera on. What does it say? There we go, boom, there it is, Nikon Z6. Okay, what is all that?
Register now.
No. So what that's doing, just say don't register. What that's doing is if you plug in a camera that is not registered, it will just register it for you, but you don't want to register my camera. We're using my camera today because we're setting this up. So you don't want to register my camera on your Capture One. So you're good to go. Because what it'll do is if there's any updates for the camera relevant to Capture One, it will remind you. But you don't want to do that because it's not your camera. So, so now when we're here, we can do a bunch of different things. We can take a picture if you hit the little circle there. I have the camera just in automatic, so.
What?
Yeah, now it's doing two things, right? It's shooting JPEG and RAW because that's just how my camera is set up because I put it in automatic mode. But I just wanted to show you, of course it's not in focus. Let me actually take a proper picture so we can actually see this. All right, so I'm gonna take a picture of the fan. Okay, so the way the focus works, you can see it over there in the corner. What you do is you hit that little magnifying glass, right? And then just go over, let's say we really want to test to see if the fan's in focus. That's the most important thing. So we're gonna click on that and then it zooms right into it. So now we're seeing it at whatever zoom we want. Usually 100% is a good place to do. And then when you're shooting, you can keep this full frame but still know that that's in focus. And again, you can do quick tweaks here. Like if you know you want to, if you're like, oh, is that too bright, too light? Sometimes when we're doing that, we're setting our exposure, you can do any of that stuff there, but you're not going to generally leave that on permanently. And you'll put it where you want to go. And that's basically good for the shooting.
Okay, and we're back with my favorite model, Lucas Veltri. All of you guys' favorite model, because they voted.
Yeah, there was a vote.
Yeah, there was a vote, and Lucas was the favorite. I mean,
I have no idea, but I haven't heard it.
Clear why. So we're back with Lucas, and we are going to take a photo of Lucas in a mirror shard that we definitely did not just break and cut Daniel's hand just now.
Definitely
Moments before
not.
this video.
So you were saying that, because at first, Marisa was inspired by a lot of terrible pictures, but then finally a good one. And the image in there is split lit, which we've talked about before. Split lit. But she was saying, with different people's faces, you really like them differently. And I like Lucas to be lit a certain way. And I said, well, let's try that. So we're gonna do that. So for this, we're not gonna use flash because I'm not gonna say Marisa left her flashes at home. So instead we'll say it's because we happen to have this rhodolite here that they are loaning me. No, this is happening in the future, and I will have done a live demo with this by then. So, but they loaned it to me so we can mess with it. So here we go, constant light. So I know, because people always say that the first comment of every video is, it's not realistic that there's a person there, using expensive lights because real people don't use expensive lights.
Yeah, you're not a real person.
I'm not a person. But no, this is a rhodolite EOS 2, I believe it's called, and it's just a LED light. It's really nice and powerful. It can do stuff like flash and stuff. We're not going to get into that. We're just going to use it as a constant light source. You mentioned that you might like this window setup, so we might leave the lights on in here. We'll see. We'll play around. So I'm just going to turn it on. We'll get Lucas roughly in the position. Forget about the mirror at first. Let's light his face because that's what's going to be important, right? All right, so let's do it. So this is real simple. Go ahead and get in position. Get him where you want him to be.
We'll start with split lighting.
Okay, all right. So split lighting, for those who didn't see the other videos, is basically just lighting half his face and not the other. So I'm gonna move it for you because it's kind of heavy and bulky. So one thing we're gonna consider is he's gonna have a mirror in his hand, and which I guess you could probably hold if you want. And we don't wanna have a reflection in the mirror of the light, ideally. So we wanna make sure it's not glaring effectively, right? And I think because of the angle that you want him to take it on, I think we have to light him from this side. Otherwise, why don't you look in the mirror?
Oh, well, I wanted to see, his face.
Okay, but
You
don't
don't
you...
have to be, holding it up and reflecting it perfectly the whole time.
Okay, all right.
Look at the lighting on his face.
Yeah. How does it look?
Yeah, so the mirror is, right here.
I'm not sure if they can see that or not. I bet you're completely blown out. Yes, you are. Let me make a quick adjustment on this camera, just so they can see.
It's basically split light. It's not perfectly split lighting, but close.
Okay, so I turned this camera down so we can see. So this is kind of like a split light, right? So basically half his face is lit, the other half is not. What are you saying? There's not enough, there's too much light on one side of his face or the other?
Well, it's spilling over a bit.
Okay, so we can move it back.
Yeah.
Okay, so now in this camera, right, because we use flash mostly, get yourself framed up and then effectively we gotta adjust our exposure, right? He's crazy over bright.
Yeah.
So we are set, I believe that I gave a really slow shutter speed, yes I did, at 1/10. So this is your shutter speed. You're just gonna adjust it until the exposure on his face looks good. So adjust it till it looks good to you. We're tethered into Capture One, guys, so we'll see how that works out. Well, the background's not dark enough?
Well,
if it's not, how's that?
that's cool. Why isn't it focusing? Oh, it's focusing.
You're in a mirror, so you might have to manually focus it, but let's just get a general shot. The thing with mirrors is that if you don't have a really good mirror, it's hard to shoot into it because they kind of double up the reflection stuff. And this is, not the most expensive mirror in the world, if you might.
It may or may not.
If you're walking down the street in New York City, you buy a mirror from a guy on the corner, you can guarantee it's probably not the nicest mirror.
Hey. I didn't quite get the other half of his face though.
Okay, well, did you want to?
Well, yeah, because otherwise this looks like flat lighting. It doesn't look like split lighting.
That is correct. That is a very good point. I think we also have way too much shoulder.
Yeah. I'm gonna get in a bit closer.
Yeah.
Did you zoom in or did you move the camera?
Well, I would zoom in at this point if you can't get closer. That's probably going to be your...
Bring it on up.
Yeah, this is one of those tricky ones because I do recommend that you're just on a tripod only because you are going to have trouble keeping a consistent frame if you don't. But on a tripod, it's going to be a little slower to get in position.
I'm going to have to manually focus, but...
Okay. Yeah, you're definitely not. Just focus on his hand. Not on
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, is that what you're looking for? I think the background's too dark.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Agree, yeah.
Yeah, I think in the original shot that you showed, there was like some detail, and I think that's kind of a good idea. So if I turn this on, these lights on, let's see where the compromise is here. That might be too bright, right? And also it's probably gonna throw a light on the other side of his face, but let's just see.
I feel like I want to raise the tripod.
Okay, do it. I'd raise it from here,
Oh.
just to keep it simple.
Smart.
Unless you want to go really high up. No, not even close. Wow, okay. I thought I was crooked. More right there, so. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, raise it up. You can also go vertical. We can crop it and stuff like that. But you definitely want some, actually I think part of the problem with this too is that in the original shot, some of her arm was lit up. It was a female subject. And I think his arm's not lit up at all, and that might be part of your problem. So
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna make a quick adjustment. I'm gonna take this off of the arm because I think we're too high. Nobody saw that. Yeah, right now the light's on basically an arm and knuckle. So we can lose 6 inches. What, you like that? Now you gotta hold it in place the whole time?
I'm not.
Where you just moved that light as you lifted it up.
It's in a don't move. Perfect.
Hold this the whole time. You know what, sometimes that does happen, and if that's the case and you liked it there, we'll try to get it back to that spot, but I don't recommend having somebody hold something because that just,
That's
you'll
the real lighting on a budget. Can't
Yeah.
afford these stands, just get a good friend.
yeah, we'll just never be able to keep it consistent, and I think a shot like this, we want to keep consistent. I'm also gonna move it in closer, which is basically gonna use the inverse square law and make it brighter,
Yeah.
because that way we can get the background darker, because I think at first you said the background was too bright with this setup.
I do like that.
I do have this thing cranked. So adjust your exposure. The light's up all the way currently. So we're as powerful as we can be with this light.
All right, so I have to do manual focus, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So the way to do that, you know how to manual focus? On the lens is a switch. You just throw it into manually focus.
Yes. This is it.
Yeah, and then right up front, there's a focus ring.
Can I zoom in, focus, and then zoom out?
No, you cannot. I don't think this lens is, there's a word for that, put it in the comments below. Most movie lenses, like for filmmaking, are that thing that people are gonna write in the comment below. Because I can't think of the name of it. I'm sure Seth knows. If Seth watched this video, he will tell us. Oh, there you go.
Hey, that was kind of cool.
That's good. You got the arm lit up. You got that. I feel like the background's still a little bit too dark for me. What do you think? Is it perfect?
You know, I think it could be a little lighter, but I don't hate it.
Right. So the way we can do that now, because now we're here, right? Is we can simply. Oh, it's so funny because when I look at the.
What's this? Oh, that's his shirt. Do you think you could maybe button your shirt? Yeah. Just so I can see like the red coloring on it.
So I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to take our light that we're using to light him, and I'm going to turn it down. It's at 100% now. So if I move it down to 50%, then that will be one stop, right? And what that's effectively going to do is now we'll adjust the exposure on the camera, and then the background will come up brighter, right? Yeah, the only issue you might have with this over time is if you do this too much, what will happen is your dark side of your face is going to get bright as well. So, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem with one stop. Let's play around with that and see. Also, somebody's phone is very loud. Okay. Okay, you didn't adjust your camera though.
Yeah, no, because I kind of like the angle, but I'm gonna just.
No, you don't have to. I'm talking about the exposure.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Adjust the exposure one stop brighter.
Should I do this, the shutter speed today?
Yep, shutter speed is good. Where are we at? 200? So go down to 100. That'll be one stop. That'll put you back where you were. That might be too bright, but you can see. You can adjust as you go. I feel like, do you have your monitor turned down or something? Because it is crazy dark.
Did it get any lighter? It got a little lighter.
Yeah, but do you have a way to control the brightness? There it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my monitor is dark.
Oh, God,
it's better for your eyes, Daniel. Actually, now I kind of like
Well,
this.
hold on. Where's the, okay. When you're doing stuff that's important for the color and stuff, you want to bring your monitor all the way to the brightest point, then bring it down 3. That's usually the closest place to the proper exposure. So how's that look? Oh, it kind of
now
has
the older one I kind of like more because this
the darker one.
I liked it where you could kind of see like this where it's dark.
Yeah.
But you could kind of see it.
Oh, is that the older one?
Yeah, the older.
Before we adjusted the power of the light?
Yeah.
So we made an adjustment to the light based on her terrible monitor. All right, so we're gonna turn it back up. I probably should have said that. That seems like a whole other video is how to calibrate your monitor. But if you're in a pinch, guys, that's a good like rule of thumb. So now go back and clear to us 200th of a second again. A good rule of thumb is to be three pegs down from the brightest. Should be about right for cameras. It's got, especially with the broken glass, it's got a bit of a horror movie vibe too with the split light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, it almost looks like a knife, actually.
Yeah. The only thing I'm gonna say is this: we have this table in the back with a gear. I'm just gonna move it.
You know, what if we
Just
split
in
light
case
from
it's-
the other side? Well, would that make
Well, we can try it.
I just feel like because the side that's mostly showing on the thing is fully lit, it almost looks too flat.
Okay.
I want it to be more shadowy.
All right. Yeah. So we can move the light to the other side, or you can switch hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll move the camera. I mean, you can do it either way, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, let's switch hands.
Both options work.
Yay.
If you want more dark side. So the difference here is that now his dark side is going to be the main side. But we can play around with doing however you want. This is where the experimentation comes in. The other thing you might want to do is, even though I did say that you should be on a tripod, what you might want to do is just
Handheld?
take it off the tripod just to figure out your shot and then go back on the tripod after. So, yep, there you go. Then click that off. Yep. Move the tripod out of the way, get the basic shot down, and then, you know, if you like this side or not, because it might not work for you. It depends on really how you like it to look.
Oh, I couldn't even tell. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually.
Oh, that's more what you're looking for? Okay.
Because it's like more shadowy. I mean, I don't know if I. Oh,
Well, find out.
I mean, this is not focused. Back to focus.
Oh, well.
I mean, not. I don't know if I want it quite that shadowy.
Okay, well, the problem is the light's just on the side of his head. So we just have to move the light. Because now the light's, because of the camera angle. Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll just go like this. There you go.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's much better.
So now I just move the light forward so that we get more light where it was. Yeah, I mean, obviously when you change arms, change your position, you're gonna shift your body. When the light's that close to you, it's gonna make a difference.
I might even want to move it a bit more.
A bit more, yeah, it's still too dark.
So it's dark.
Do you want some like in the front on his eye? Why don't you look through the camera?
Yeah.
And I'll move the light and you can tell me, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit, I think, based on what I think you want. I'm gonna come around this way. So when you're doing split lighting, you want to consider that the light needs to be split on their face, not necessarily.
That's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm kind of liking that.
Well, I mean, if you like it,
I'm digging it.
that's good. Now hold on a second. I'm actually shooting at a high shutter speed, so this is going to be crazy. We go back down to. We know all kinds of nut stuff over here. Hold on a second. Don't do anything good.
Don't do anything good.
Close down. I probably should have adjusted the ISO, but
It's interesting because the JPEG looks different than the RAW.
well, yeah, of course it does. The RAW's going to have more detail.
Yeah. What do you think? It's kind of cool.
I think it's great.
Yeah?
I think it's got a good vibe. I like that the arm's lit up. I kind of feel like, let's get on a tripod and figure out the exact framing, but I
think more zoomed in, like more cropped.
Yeah, I don't even hate the room. I don't know that it's clear that it's a piece of glass, like there's a mirror.
Yeah.
So I think you need to have some space maybe to just kind of adjust where it is in his hand.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, like
But I
I'm
like
tilted?
Yeah. Yeah, like basically from our point of view, the mirror clashes with effectively what's happening is yeah, exactly. Maybe that might be better.
Yeah, and even.
And then once you get the basic idea down, I would then probably also.
Yeah, okay, that
What shutter speed are you at? Okay, you can probably handhold it, it's fine.
That definitely looks more
that
like
looks
a
more
piece
like
of
a
glass.
mirror. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We got to watch the reflection of the.
yeah, and the light and everything.
Yeah, I think it's hitting the wall. Let's see this
But
possibly.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get up on a tripod then, and so we can do it consistently, and let's nail out any small details and bang it out.
Okay.
You're not on a tripod though. That's not a tripod.
Well, let me
Yeah.
just take one more for testing. Yeah, I think that's what I want.
Yeah. Because I think you definitely want to have some environment. Like you want to see his arm. Because if you don't see his arm at all, oh, that's very good. There you go.
That's
Or
kinda
his
cool
hand.
with the wide angle, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I wanted to get in closer.
Well, now it's almost from his perspective, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get locked down on a tripod and just start directing and stuff. Let me get this thing.
I'm gonna try making it slightly slightly even wider.
Going back around this way.
Oh, whoa, actually. I might like the longer lens because it's kind of compressing everything and that's kind of, yeah, I actually am digging this. Ooh, I like the long lens better actually.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
Because it kind of compresses everything and it makes it, like I wanted more, I wanted it to feel like closer and I feel like with the,
Yeah, I think what's interesting about this whole thing is that when we first lined it up, we were like, oh, we got to go wider because we want to see more of his arm. But I think that's because of the composition. But now that we have a different composition, I think it works.
This is very cool because it,
Yep.
I like the lens. The wider lens is interesting because it does feel like it's from his perspective. But this is interesting because it almost feels like, it's hard to describe. It's like a portrait, like just sliced out.
You know what? Let me try one thing because, Daniel likes to try things.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, because I feel like the only thing I'm not loving about this whole thing is the edge of the mirror is falling into darkness.
Yeah.
More than I'd like it to. So let's. I'm going to use this shard of mirror. Go ahead and hold on. I'm going to try to. No, you're good. I'm going to actually.
Are you going to reflect onto him?
I'm going to try to use this to reflect a little bit onto the edge of the mirror if I can. Just that a little bit so it doesn't fall completely into darkness. I don't know if you're going to see it or not. Probably not. This is not a very...
You're not really seeing it.
I can feel it occasionally.
Yeah. I'm trying to get right there, yeah. Yeah, it's you don't really see it. It's not enough. I can see it on your hand, but because
it's hand. Like
yeah. I don't know if that's good on the hand or not. I was trying to get it on the mirror.
It's actually not bad, but it's...
Yeah, it's not doing... We just wanted that edge of that mirror to have something. This is where having more lights would be nice, but we're trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, I didn't really like it.
No, me too. I like it. And I like it. You know what I would say at this point? I want the background to be a smidge brighter. So let's not give it a full stop. Let's give it...
It feels like a Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, hold on. Let me give it... I'm going to bring this down to 75%. So we should just get a little bit of brighter background. So adjust your exposure by half a stop, Marisa.
Okay.
So go down, give yourself a half stop more light.
150?
Yep. What was it, 200? Yeah, so go down to, right.
Actually, 160 is it?
160 is a third, that's fine. Try that and see if that works. Because that does it in thirds of stops. See if that works for you.
Should I get more of his arm in it, or do you think?
I think the tight is fine with the hand. As long as you get the hand and it's clear that he's looking at. See, with that composition, I'd get more of the arm because I don't think it's clear what's going on there. Yeah, I think if you see the side of the hand, it makes more sense. I'd get more of the arm if you're gonna do that. Yeah, if you're gonna get more of the arm, I may have to drop the light down a smidge because I don't know if you can see the arm or not. Yeah, I think your original composition was way, way better than what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing now. You're losing it.
Yeah,
She's lost it. Yeah, go back to where you were. Go back up there. This is why a tripod is good.
Yeah, because it's how he was holding.
Yeah, right. This is so much stronger.
I mean, it's like he's holding a crystal of his own face. Like that's kind of cool.
I think that.
I agree.
See, here's the thing. You know he's holding it.
But everyone else.
Somebody looking at that is not going to get what you just said from that. We're standing here, so we think that. That does not show that at all. It's not clear it's his hand because it's a weird way to hold it.
Yeah.
If you saw more of his arm or more of his body, I would agree with you. But I think the other one makes it clearer that it's his hand. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can see.
It's clearer that it's his hand the way he's doing.
Do you see? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just my feedback there. So I would put it on a tripod, get yourself in position to shoot a few, and you're done. I mean, this is an easy one.
Yeah, I might want to try one if it's okay, where I put the lighting more above him because
of course.
He has like those.
Right, but let's get this one though.
But yeah, like how we shot him before, where you could see like one eye was dark and then there was like a little glimmer in the other. It's like almost Rembrandt. But
almost.
You know, I love
story of my life.
Yeah,
no, you're good. It's a quick release plate. You just stick the front part in and then I'll let go of it.
Yeah.
So you just stick the front part in like this and then put it there. Pops in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Frame it up, get a perfect composition, make it count. Pretend like it's like a roll of film.
Between your legs.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Oh, we're good.
Not bad, not bad.
Perfect. So Lucas makes our job very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a better?
The hand seems
Or
funny.
you think move Jane's hand?
I think the hand is weird.
Yeah. Try holding it
Like- It's just there's too much thumb up front, I think.
or how do you hold it? Because it was thumb in front before you hold it before.
Or like that? Is that better? Or is that weird?
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, just try a few different things.
That one might be too claw-like. though.
Yeah, it might be. You have to play around with it a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe hold it like naturally, but try to hold it where
Broken
with your
piece of
hand.
ice.
If
How
it's
would you-
naturally, like if you were okay, so you're the Phantom of the Opera, you're in like a basement and you're just like,
Like this? I don't know.
yeah, that's not bad. What do you think? He was so good that one time.
Yeah, it's still obvious he's holding it like that. I think what you got to do is, I think you were holding it, yeah, like that. More like that, I think is how you had it. Yep. I think something like that is closer to where you were, because the issue is with the compression that if your fingers are the same thing, your hand looks stubby. Yeah, just raise your index finger so we can see it more. There you go. That also helps
Oh yeah, that's
reflect the edge of the mirror.
much better.
Yeah, and then just adjust where his, yeah.
Tilt it up, tilt it.
Yeah, I think we see enough detail in the arm and stuff to set set the stage or what is it?
Is that here? Oh, perfect. Tilt it a little bit. Like that. Yeah. Lucas of the Opera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something. I'm gonna go back a bit. Just get a little more. See what happens there. Yeah, I think that's the shot I want. Okay, now let's
Okay.
do some expressions. Okay. This one's interesting because his eye is now dark, which is kind of what I was thinking.
Well, yeah. Well, and again, if he moves his chin up and down and turns up, it'll change the light on his face as he goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the vibe is like you're looking at a shard of glass and then right at the start, so I'm imagining like it's kind of a who's a good inspiration?
Do you want me looking into the lens, by the way?
Oh yeah. Okay, maybe you're like maybe you are there's somebody and they've caught you looking at yourself in the mirror and you're kind of like you're a little stunned and like but you're also kind of in a ooh, yeah, you got it. You don't even need to draw. Ooh. Now, chin down maybe more, and you're kind of like looking at me like, I see. Okay, now pretend you're just looking at yourself,
Okay.
and you are like, kind of, you're noticing and almost like scrutinizing yourself.
Okay.
Like kind of like looking at yourself judgingly, like in this mirror. Chin down a bit. Yeah. And you're looking at yourself, and maybe you're thinking, that you're a phony. And raise the mirror just a little bit. Tilt it towards me, like tilt it down a bit. Yeah, and close the right card. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You're getting the light in his eye.
Hmm?
Look at you. You got the light in his eye. You got the arm.
Okay, now maybe look. I wonder what happens if you don't look right at the camera. Yeah. Okay, now tilt it a little towards. Yeah, don't look in the camera. Maybe look up towards the light. Okay, never mind. I think I like you look better looking at the camera. Chin down and like look up into camera almost. What do we think?
I like it. Sometimes you don't need to shoot a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I think we.
I mean, sometimes, you know, it is the shot. The setup, you know, figuring out where to put the glasses up was the important part. Once you got it in place, I mean, a handful of frames and you've got it, just with slightly different expressions.
It's kind of cool because it almost looks like you're holding your own face. Maybe do it kind of lovingly, like you're holding your own face, and yeah. It's just kind of cool because it looks like you're holding your head in your hand. It's kind of
You've created a love clone.
Yeah, it's your love clone, and it looks like you're almost like stroking your face, which is kind of cool. Okay, move the mirror down a bit, or actually just tilt it down. Yeah, perfect. Oh, perfect. Okay, actually, wait, tilt it a little towards. Yep, perfect. Okay, now kind of look like perfect. Oh my god, you're so good. Now maybe smile a bit. Okay, let me think of something that makes you smile. Okay, okay, think about, okay, here's a good one. Think about your mom. What's her name? Hope? Okay, Joy? Hope? Okay, and imagine that like you haven't seen your mom in a while and she's giving you a big hug. And you don't have to open your eyes or look at the camera, just like however you feel. Like she's giving you a big hug. You've just returned from your motorcycle trip in Italy. Oh, actually, I love you looking down. Actually, yeah. Okay, no. Yeah, I'll just. Yeah. Oh, I actually love you looking down. I didn't think I would. Perfect.
I like the looking down, yeah. I actually like it when it's somewhere between where you are now and before.
Yeah, like looking up slightly more?
Well, no, not looking up, but that composition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really strong, the composition. Maybe just get a little bit more of his face. And yeah, I think that was just better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I love that he has, you can put it down. I love that he has this little curl here.
Yeah, it's good. I like it a lot, actually.
Yay.
Well done, well done.
Look at him! Look at the little curl and the cheekbones and the nose.
Now, I'm just gonna say, because this all happened, you know, before. Isn't it nice when it's simple?
Yeah.
No repeated mirrors, no
My original
blood,
idea was like
no
smoke,
smoke.
and then multiple reflections of Lucas's face, and then Dan was like,
This is all about the thing that I actually really love this. I mean, you got that little bit of light in there, and that's something that we'll just take out in post. Yeah. So, but I love it. I love the composition. I like the color. I like his expression.
curl, like the curl. Look at the curl. It's so great.
And there we go.
Oh, Lucas.
Well done.
Lucas
Yeah, I like him looking down too. It's got a real kind of. By the way, this is what I was talking about with the focus. See, it's right there. That way you don't have to keep zooming in if you want to check the focus.
Oh.
Yeah, also really good. Yeah. I like it.
Oh, so good.
It's interesting because some of them really look like you're looking at a reflection, and other ones look like that you're looking at some kind of picture that was drawn. So, which I think is really interesting. Yeah.
So cool.
No, I love it.
God, you're such a good model.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, we'll put Lucas's information in the description. I have no idea. I'm going to look at this camera because I don't know which camera. And Marissa's and mine. You should ring the bell, right? Because that's always important. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yay.